Hey guys.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the FreshandFit podcast. It's Monday. We're here with Billy
from Gables Sports Cars.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
It's going to be a great show, guys. Let's get into it, baby.
Let's go.
We're here with Billy
from Gables.
Hey, guys. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the FreshandFit podcast, guys. Sorry for that little bit of blunder there, guys. We got Chris is sick right now. He's got a little bit of a fever. He's going to be here for the nighttime show, but we got Trey actually doing the sound and the video, guys. So bear with us here. So, guys, quick announcements. Actually, this is a really big announcement. Then we'll get right into the show. Yep. Guys, we revamped our Patreon. I'm so excited to bring this out for you guys.
Woohoo!
So we're going to show you guys how to do it, right? So you go on patreon.com, right? This is what the website looks like. Then you're going to go find creator. You're going to go in here and you're going to type in FreshandFit. Okay? And we're not going to come up because we're adult. So you got to scroll down. See, that's us right there. That's blurred, right? You click that. And then we got all these different memberships, okay, guys? So what we did was I actually added in a $5, $10, and $20 tier. Before, we didn't have these tiers. But I added them in because I know I realized when I was on Instagram this weekend that we have a lot of young guys that follow us that might not have their money on point.
Yeah.
Or, you know, they want to be able to get this information and they can't necessarily afford like coaching level type tiers. So I say, you know what? Let's do a 5, 10, and 20 tier for guys at different levels so they get access. So at the $5 tier, guys, you get all the 2020 Patreon content that's not safe for YouTube. We have hundreds of videos, over 300 guys, over 300 videos on here. Zoom calls, everything. At the $10 tier, you get all the 2020 Patreon content to include, you know, you also get a monthly Patreon stream, which will only be on Patreon. And it's going to be a podcast maybe where we talk some sports with Trey, make fun of Chris, talk about how Black Waltz is, whatever. It's going to be a more chill podcast on Patreon. It's going to be a live stream only for patrons. Then at the 20 tier, you get access to all content, 20 and 2021 Patreon content, not safe. And you get a discount code on merch, which I sent out the code earlier today to get 10% off. You just use it at checkout, right? Then at the next level, if you see all 6 levels, click that down, Trey, right there.
Boom,
yep. And we got, now this is where we start getting into the coaching. You got the F&F Army. We only got 9 spots remaining for that one. That's $50 per month. And you get 1 monthly video answer to your question, plus a 20% off discount code on merch. And then the 97 tier is the Ginyu Force, sold out, guys. So sorry about that. But you get added to a Telegram chat. And then at the 200 tier, you get 1 monthly Zoom call. And I'm going to be sending out emails to everyone that is in the Ginyu tier and the Super Saiyan tier. And we're going to make a Telegram chat for y'all. So that's going to be coming soon, probably after this show. Today or tomorrow, I'm going to do it. Then scroll down. Guys, we got a personal goal. We got 325 patrons right now. That's the new welcome video. We need 1,000 patrons. Okay, if we do we get 1,000 patrons, guys. In November, we're going to do a special 2-hour Zoom call with an open Q&A, guys, with everyone at the 5, 10, 20 tier, whatever. Anyone that's come to our Zoom calls already know we give crazy value on there. The Zoom calls, we go into detail about dating. Everything that we can't tell y'all on YouTube or a secret sauce that is behind the paywall, it's going to come out on these Zoom calls.
We get personal in there as well, man.
Yeah.
Because all I have questions on, DMs or, in person, whatever, but we can't always be there with time. But with the Zoom calls for Patreon, we can be there, me and Myron together, doing those calls. So
you'll get real-time coaching. Guys come in there with notebooks and, you know what I'm saying, we answer all your questions, whether it's fitness, girls, making money, entrepreneurship,
real estate, credit,
real estate, everything. Whatever it is. Sometimes I even bring my accountant on the Zoom call. I bring Roger, my real estate agent, on there, and you guys can ask them questions too. So,
and now we got Billy for cars.
Bam.
Exotic cars too.
Yes, another point at POC for you guys. So, guys, help us reach 1,000 patrons. Instead, if you wanted to donate a $5 super chat, take that super chat and pledge on Patreon instead. That way, you're going to get the hours of content, guys. All our 2020 stuff alone is more than content creators made for,
Yeah,
we've made more videos in 2020 alone than content creators have made these past 2 years probably combined. Guaranteed,
we
guys.
did 2 to 3 podcasts a day for like months.
We only been on Patreon for about a year, and we have more videos than most creators on there, guys. A lot of secret sauce on there and everything you could think of when it comes to male self-improvement. So check us out over there, guys. Help us reach 1,000. And all the content is there, man, for y'all. So all the 2021 stuff is $20 and up, but all the 2020 stuff, if you scroll down, it's all there for $5 tiers and below. Okay. So thank you guys so much, man. But yeah, patreon.com/FreshFit. Search us on there and get us to 1,000. We're trying to build up the army on Patreon. And click that become a patron button. And yeah, man, any pledge is greatly appreciated, and we love y'all. Whether you decide to become a patron or not, we love you guys. Anyway, so I guess and then the other thing, for the merch is FreshandFitPodcastStore.com if you actually want to use that code and get the merch at a discount. But yeah, man, other than that, man, let's get into the show, bro.
So today we're talking about cars, how to get cars, exotic cars, and everything in between. And we have with us a specialist, one of the best people I know in the industry regarding cars, Billy from Gables Sports Cars. Shout out to you, man. Welcome, man. How's it going, brother?
Appreciate it.
And guys, just so you guys know, right, my first exotic car, my McLaren, guess who got it for me? And the whole process, it was Billy. So thanks. Shout out to Billy, man. He's an awesome guy. And my next car coming soon because of Billy as well. So there you go. But Billy, tell him who you are, what you do, pretty much.
Sure. Been in the exotic car business about 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And started a business with a small operation. And now...
this is Instagram, by the way, guys, right here.
Yeah, right here. So all these cars pretty much have sold or are about to be sold, and they're top level cars. Best in the game, man. Gables Sports Cars. So go support him as well. If you guys see me there all the time on my Instagram story, I'm always there looking at cars. So shout out to Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a challenging business, and especially nowadays. And it's not. As everybody knows, the prices are high and demand is high and the supply is low.
Mm-hmm.
But it's an interesting business.
And what got you into like cars, man?
Basically, it was kind of a hobby for me. I was working for corporate America for a long time, and then I find myself like in front of the house and a bunch of cars, and I was like, this looks like a dealership now. And then one day I decided, I said, hey, let me try to do this as a full-time job and get a small spot for myself. And I was, maybe 5-6 cars able to fit in that little warehouse in North Miami, and started there. So
you started with a small warehouse?
Very small warehouse. I remember it was like a 2,000 square feet warehouse. I was able to fit maybe 7 cars, 8 cars inside. And so it was, and started that way. Man.
Was it hard selling the cars at the beginning? Like, was it tough to like get them off the garage?
Well, it was hard because it's a tough industry. It's a lot of competition, and it changed over the time. Maybe if you guys remember, we used to have Auto Trader magazines, right? I don't know if maybe you guys young, but I remember.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day.
And then, but we don't have that anymore. Everything is on the internet. Everything is changed. So it's a tough business. A lot of competition.
Car Gurus, Facebook, Auto Trader.
Everywhere. It's just it's a very open market.
What's the best exotic car you would say for somebody's first time that they should get?
Well, now let's define the exotic car right first, and then if you see a Beamer or Benz or something, they are not really a typical like exotic car. But those when the manufacturers, they have their high line like a M4s, M series or AMG series, etc. But they are not really a typical exotic car. When we define the exotic car, it has to be like a limited production, and it's not a mass production vehicle, and this is the Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, and so on.
Rolls Royce,
exactly. And those vehicles are in that category. The starting point, it all depends on the budget, right? And if you can afford it, you start high. If you can't afford it, you start from the bottom. But somebody wants to be in that environment. Somebody wants to buy like a budget exotic car. Maybe they can start with the older Ferrari. And those vehicles are kind of manageable nowadays, and they retain their value. So it would be a good idea for customer to have something like that. And as long as, in a good shape, of course. And retain it.
I heard Porsche is one of the better ones to start with. They're more reliable.
Again, depends on but this is not an exotic. I mean, Porsche is a sports car,
Yeah.
not the exotic car. But Porsche is a great car. It's a data-driven car. Mechanically, is really good, and it's trouble-free compared to other cars, compared to other exotics.
McLaren's. Never again.
Well, it's a different beast.
Yeah.
But you ended up unlucky. It's another reason.
That's true.
And but it just. But I would love to have a Porsche drive every day. It's a beautiful car, but this is But if it's going to be a weekend car, a garage queen, or something, it could be a different type of exotic.
Okay. And what's your background, Billy? Because obviously you have an accent.
Sure. Originally, I was in Istanbul, Turkey, and I came to States when I was 19. And went to college, Missouri State, and got my degree in finance, and then got my master's in Nova, and so in finance. So it's a different background compared. It's not something common in car industry.
Cool. All right.
Super chats real quick. Okay, so let's see here. We got okay, so.
There we go.
Bear with us here, guys. This is Trey doesn't really run
behind the
run
scenes.
the producer angle. Okay, so we got $50 from Friend Civil. Thanks, FNF. Thank you so much. Ninja Watcher 372. Chris, when you get home, immediately throw away that shirt. And then we got $5 from Christopher Amali. Money Monday, my favorite show to watch. I was waiting for this one. I want an exotic car. Don't worry, we got y'all. Also, guys, we're gonna have a short Q&A at the end of this. If you guys have a question you want to ask someone that's an exotic car expert as far as like procuring, maintaining, or having one of these types of vehicles, and just when you super chat in, we'll definitely answer those questions.
Yep.
And then we got Slippery Beats, $6. Yo, Fresh and Myron, I've been meaning to ask you guys, can I make a funny compilation video of y'all? I know we need your guys' permission. Yeah, sure. Let us know. And then we got Jensel Iragori, always wanted an Aston Martin. Are they reliable and hold up value? That's a good question.
What do you think?
Yes. Well, I really like the newer Aston Martins, like the ones that they started after 2018, 19. They really changed a lot, and they are great cars, much better than the previous ones,
Right.
Especially new Vantage or other series. Holding the value, well, it's not going to happen. So Aston Martin is not one of the good cars in that environment. But however, it's
Is it because they're not sought after that they don't hold value?
In the past, before all this craziness going on, the manufacturer used to offer a lot of discounts in Aston Martins. The same to the McLarens. I remember about 2 years ago, you were able to get $75,000 off from MSRP on a McLaren.
Wow.
It was, and you were able to get $35,000 off, what they call the trunk money, on a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Same thing. We were able to get $50,000 off on MSRP on Aston Martin. Those days are over at the moment. It may change, but so that is something different. But they don't hold their value that great. However, I have seen in the secondary market new Vantages. You should be able to get a great deal. I've seen they are in 2 years old and maybe 60% from the MSRP, and those are great buys.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more Aston Martins on the road. I know James Bond made a very popular car back in the day.
I was going to say, this is a James Bond car.
Yeah.
Correct. That movie, it was especially with the color, right? The special color for that movie. It made it really popular. But again, the newer ones are really good. Like, if somebody going to buy an Aston Martin, to advise to the gentleman asking the question, I would say get into something with 24 months old, like 2 years old, still under warranty, which, and depreciation has already been probably 50% to 40%.
Okay. So speaking of Aston Martins, what are some of the biggest the common mistakes that people make when they buy their first exotic cars, or when they're shopping for exotic cars in the first place?
Correct. My recommendation is you need to feel the car. That is the biggest problem. I have seen people buying a name versus the car itself. It would be a great.
They fall in love with the brand instead of the vehicle.
100%. I would probably, best advice I can give it to one person going to buy, go and rent one for a day or so.
Okay.
See how it feels.
Pay the money. Pay the 1,000 or whatever the hell it's going to
It's
cost
well
you.
worth it.
That's what I always say. Rent it
100%.
first.
Just rent it because we have the option to do so, right? And unlike buying a brand new sneakers, you put your feet is already used. You cannot return it. But cars you can rent it. It's good. So I think it's good.
Okay.
And then, what about like in getting inspections? Like, what do you think? Should they?
Absolutely. I mean, if anyone purchasing a used exotic, it definitely needs to be inspected because these are big investments. Any repair is very costly, and spend a couple $100 on the inspection, it is going to save a lot of headaches in the long run.
Especially if you buy it pre-owned.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Doesn't matter where you're buying it from. I definitely recommend someone to check.
Even if there's a warranty.
Even the warranty. Make sure, because it was in somebody else's hands. And the person who's selling it currently doesn't really know what really transpired.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, those costs are because obviously with exotic cars, anytime you get a fix, it's extremely expensive. We're talking about thousands of dollars for a repair or for a fix.
Oh, I know.
100% right.
I definitely know that one.
Exactly. It's just...
So I guess next question for you, Billy. What are some of the cars in your experience that give the most issues, you would say?
If you look at, let's combine with the luxury cars, high-end luxury cars, combined with the exotics. Troublemakers will be Maseratis are pretty complicated. McLarens, not all of them, but they have constant electrical problems, battery problems, etc. It's out there.
I ain't never been another one, bro. That was it for me, bro. That moment, bro, I was like, yo, I'm done with McLarens. No more, bro. I'm done.
That's bad. And those are those two brands are Aston Martins. They were bad earlier, but they are much better now. And we sound like a lot of British cars, right? McLarens and Aston Martins. I don't know why, but we are seeing that in that area. But if you compare with the Italian cars, Ferrari and the
Lambo.
Lambo is a much more stronger car.
Yeah,
it's a bull, right? And you can really, can handle much more abuse than the Ferrari. On the other hand, Ferrari is much more delicate. It will break down much more faster than the Lamborghini. It's a fact. But certain Lamborghinis also, maybe Aventadors are much more delicate compared to Huracans. Huracans are really, really strong cars.
Is there a reason? Is like the Huracan's designed for racing or something, or what's the reason for that?
Necessarily, I think the way most of the problems we see in it, like the transmission problems, etc. Huracans at the beginning, they are much more better. The dual clutch transmissions. It's a V10 versus V12. When the cylinders go bigger and more, complications starts. So, and that engine been used quite a long time. Like Audi R8 had the same engine. It just it's more experienced.
Okay, the V10 you're saying.
Correct.
The V10 V10 is tried and true versus the V12 is like it's a lot of horsepower, but it's going to come at a cost.
That is true. And the V12 maintenance is much more higher than the V10.
Okay,
all day long.
Gotcha.
So switch out real quick.
I think we're
good, right?
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay, go ahead.
Cool. So I guess the next question is, Billy, like, what are things people should look for exactly when they go look for a car? Like, for example, should they look for like the tires, maybe the engine lights? Like, what should they look for when they go buy a car?
Sure.
Carfax.
It's a good point. Carfax is great, of course, way to start with. You see the history of it, and I highly recommend anyone buying a luxury car, not just exotic, any car, to avoid with the ones with the accident histories. And even though it may say minor here, this and that is something is no good. Stay away from it. And because the moment it comes to sell that vehicle, it gets complicated. It's not worth it, and stay away from it, especially exotics. If somebody buys a car with a bad car history, they're gonna think that, I'm getting a great deal with. But no, at the end you're gonna get hurt. That's just the way it is.
So what about salvage titles?
No, stay away from those. People in that business,
what is a salvage title first, so we can so people know?
So salvage title is basically, let's call a rebuildable salvage title. When the car goes involves an accident becomes salvage. Then somebody purchases the car from a salvage auction and rebuilds the car. So that title initially is a salvage title. After the rebuild takes place, they take it to the DMV, get it inspected, and they receive a rebuildable salvage title on the vehicle. Those are, if you are in a racetrack, you're going to take the car to racetrack, you're going to race it all day long. You don't want to spend $300,000 on a Hurricane. If you want to get a $150,000 Hurricane, take it to racetrack and drive it until the wheels fall off. Do it. If you're in the business of export, a lot of countries, they don't care what the background is. Do it. It's profitable business. But if you're going to buy a salvage car, one, financing is almost impossible. I'm not saying 100%, but it's
banks
almost.
Are going to be very risky with lending you money on that. Yeah.
They don't want to do that. Yeah. Second, you don't want to put your family and everything inside of this thing. God forbids they replace the airbags and that second is going to open or not. It is dangerous. I don't recommend, but everybody has a taste and they want to use their things for different purposes. That is doable,
And how do you avoid, because there's a recent trend going around where people roll mileage back on cars. How do you avoid that, you would say?
Low mileage?
Like they how to put this? They roll back mileage and how do you avoid that?
It's a tough one, right? We have seen in the industry vehicles, they have rollback mileages or frozen mileages and etc. And there are a lot of indications, but sometimes they are not really obvious. You see a car, for example, 3,000 miles, and you see the tires are almost worn out, or you see scratched up door sills, the pedals are worn up, steering wheel worn up. You are like, how is it possible 3,000 miles has this?
It should be brand new almost. It should be smell brand new.
100%. So those are indications. It's tough. And but if you see that kind of indications, just stay away from it.
What are some cars that are common for getting rollback miles? And rollback miles, guys, just so that we can explain, it's like when someone they artificially change the mileage on the car to make it less miles than it really has, aka like these girls that tell you they only got a 5 body count when they really got 500. So yeah, what are some cars that are prone to get hit with that people do this often with rolling back miles?
I mean, let's think about the common sense, right? Because they're going to try to do these things on vehicles most kind of expensive or higher value, because mileage impact is greater on those kind of vehicles. Yeah. So they're going to go after those vehicles too. They tend to roll back mileage on those kind of vehicles.
Can you give us like the top 3 that would be?
Oh, man, it's tough. To be honest to you, it's really difficult. I mean, but I would expect maybe a Ferrari, maybe a Porsche, and those kind of cars would be
highly likely
to,
for people.
Because I'm thinking about maybe like Lamborghinis, but I'm thinking in a way that Porsche is a driver's car. You see those cars are driven a lot. So maybe that's the reason they tend to do that kind of stuff.
Why would Ferrari though? Ferrari's very delicate with
not
value?
Really, of course, mileages are greater impacts on the vehicle.
Yeah, so basically with exotic cars, any mileage you put on a car will affect the sale of the car when you finish it.
Of course.
So you want if those cars, when you buy them, you want to keep it as low as possible with mileage, pretty much.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay.
What are the top? So Ferrari and Porsche are going to be some of the top prone cars to them people trying to roll back miles.
Those kind of cars or Lamborghinis, but you have seen people in the news and other things, and they roll back mileage of Toyota Corolla. I mean,
damn,
there are some stupid people out there. I'm not going to do. I mean, it's just
okay. Next one.
And then anything else they should look for when you go to get a car? Like,
absolutely, yeah. The question was, like you said, the Carfax is a good idea, and service history is really, really important. Ask for it, especially exotics and luxury cars. Every service is really, really expensive. I'm sure you're familiar with that.
Yeah.
And so it is just a history, service history, any paint job on the vehicle, tire condition of the vehicle, and those are the most important. And paint, if there is any accident indication, if they put a aftermarket paint on after the factory due to accident or scratch, that is very important. And
So basically, when you go buy a car, you should have somebody there to help you because I can't remember all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not an expert and if you're buying a $200,000 Lamborghini,
Yeah.
you want someone to really check this for you if you are not the expert. Some people, they know, but it is you. I mean, sometimes you think that you know it all, but
Yeah.
it's worth to spend a couple of $100 to hire someone to check the car, make sure everything's right.
That's why I call you, man.
All right.
I'm here to help.
So we're going to cover financing next, guys, but let me hit some of these chats real quick. And guys, thank you so much for donations. We appreciate it greatly. And if you guys got questions, start rolling them in now because we're going to, this is going to be a shorter interview. We got a nighttime show as well. So get your questions in. Myron, when do you use a rewards card versus cashback? Use cashback 80% of the time. Use rewards when you're using it specifically for a situation where you're going to get the most points. So, for example, I use my cashback card, right, for mostly everything. But when I go to the Apple store, I use my Apple card. Or if I'm on Amazon, I use my Amazon card. That's when you want to use rewards cards, when you're going to get the most points back. On Amazon, you get 5% cash back if you use it on Amazon, and then you get 3% cash back on Apple purchase. So I just got the new iPhone, for example, the 13th. I used an Apple card for that, so I would get 3% cash back. So you got to pick and choose when you want to do it if you do have specialty rewards cards. But your cashback should be your main card, your everyday card. Apologize, Thomas. And we have a video on that for you too, guys. Best cashback credit cards. That's in the Money Monday playlist. Apologize, Thomas. What is your opinion of Teslas, especially performance Teslas? Oh, that's a good question.
Very good question.
I mean, it is a different type of feeling to operate an electric car. Acceleration, other things are totally different than the regular natural engine. The performance is unbelievable, and I personally like it, and it is good for, of course, good for the environment, and we have to worry about that. We have to care about that. Second is it's good for people commuting, which is good, consumption of the fuel and other things, and they are nice, they are fun. But now, if you compare with the feeling, right, here in the engine, here in the transmission shifting, or smelling the fumes of the gas, it's not there. They are good, but I don't know. It's gonna fulfill every car, its needs. Except just having the speed is one thing, but having other elements, other thing. Engagement with the car is not there.
Yeah, I can't do it.
You're not engaging with it. It's not there. Acceleration is unbelievable. The technology is great, but it's like it is different. It is, but that's what I would call it. I don't want to say it's bad or good. I kind of like it, but I don't think I would own one for a long term. Mm-hmm. But for purpose, I would not buy, for example, a Tesla Plaid and spend $150,000 plus to, it is great. It's wonderful. It's fast. But I probably spend $150,000 on some kind of other exotic. Maybe it could be a little slower, but it gives you much more, fun.
Fun.
Yep. Gotcha. Okay.
That's true.
Fair. So financing. So obviously, as you know, some guys might not have the money to buy an exotic car cash. $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, whatever cash. Can you discuss financing, how that works, and what guys can do as far as like preparing themselves for getting one of these cars?
Sure. Well, I have seen on the internet and other things they call the exotic car hack and this and that. But there is no hacking. There is no hacking to this game. There is no. It's the kind of BS that people just sell out there. You pay at the beginning, you pay at the middle, or you pay at the end. There is only way to do this business. I don't like to sell people stories. People come into the dealership, they want to buy a vehicle, but they are hearing, I can get this because I have an 800 credit score. Well, it doesn't work that way. The way it works, comparable credit is the key. To look at the banks, they look at not only the score. Of course, score is good because it determines your rate, but it doesn't determine your approval. Your approval is determined based on your comparable credit and how you pay these things. So,
can you tell the people what comparable credit is?
Sure. People looking at it, for example, he's right out of the college. Maybe person had one car in the past, maybe BMW 3 Series. and the vehicle was $40,000, and he was making $500, $600 payments on that car.
Mhm.
Now, when you go and you say, hey, you know what? I want to buy a Lamborghini Hurricane. I have an 800 credit score. I paid my BMWs 5 years on time.
All these years.
All these years, I have 800 though. I'm perfect. Well, bank says, well, you're perfect, but you're missing a couple of things.
History.
History is one. How can I trust you that you're going to go up from $450, $500 payment to $2,500 payment, right?
That's what some of these car the monthly payment on some of these cars are, huh?
I have customers leaving with $8,000 a monthly payment.
Holy crap! What they buy, a Bugatti?
No. I mean, they buy cars such as Rolls Royce and Cullinan, etc. You end up probably about $6,000-$7,000 a month.
Holy crap!
So you go in there, and then they are in their mind that they can afford it. Even though they say, okay, I can afford it because I'm making a lot of money now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we check mark the credit. He's making a lot of money. How this person going to jump from $500 to $2,000? Bank is going to say, hey, you know what? We're not feeling comfortable. We have all these things are in place, but we can jump you from $500 to maybe $1,100 a month. In order to get there, what you need? Money, down payment. Now all those boxes are checked, right? Now we have good credit. We have good income. Now we have the down payment. Now you can buy it.
You're not going to get an exotic car with shitty credit.
You can.
You can.
You can, 100%. I have customers with the 500 credit score. They are driving Lamborghinis.
Damn.
But they had to put down a lot probably, right?
They put down a lot, satisfy the need.
Yeah. How much are you putting down with a crappy credit score like that?
I have seen about 45% down payment.
Wow. Damn.
Correct.
Yeah, on a Lamborghini.
On a Lamborghini or Ferrari.
Half.
And a Lamborghini nowadays is going for how much? Because they're up now.
Depends on the Lamborghini, right? You can find Lamborghini for 300s.
Okay.
You can get a Lamborghini 400, or you can get a Lamborghini for 900.
Yeah.
Depends on Lamborghini.
What about an Aventador?
Aventador is the
Doors go up, guys. That's what it is.
It's a 2012 entry ones, probably around low 300s, mid 300s.
45% of that. We're talking about almost $150,000 cash.
Yeah.
You got to bring it to the table.
So, but
with a bad credit score, guys.
It happens.
And guys, this is the importance of getting your credit on point. Today's episode is brought to you guys by our sponsor, Identity IQ, guys. So we're gonna give you guys a link. I put the link in the chat tray. But guys, Identity IQ, basically it's a credit monitoring service, man. You can get in for only $1, monitor your credit, because you saw what it takes to buy an exotic vehicle. Yeah. Not only do you need good credit, but you're also gonna need history. You're gonna need a good lofty down payment, and the better your credit is, the less you can get away with putting down. Yep. And you're gonna need to have some history as well. So guys, one of the critical components clearly is your credit score, man. So guys, click the link below, right? Well, this is it right here. This is our landing page for Identity IQ.
Empower yourself.
Empower yourself, that one, Trey. Get in for only $1, right? And you basically helps you monitor your credit with the 3 major credit bureaus. Make sure that, if someone steals your identity, you're immediately notified. If someone tries to use your social security number, you're immediately identified.
Happened to me.
Yeah, bro. Like, guys, when you guys know I'm a real estate investor. I'm actually going to close on 2 properties this week, guys, which I'm going to go through with you guys as far as like how I got them and everything like that. But I did it by making sure my credit was good. I always monitor my credit to make sure that no one's using my stuff, because when you're trying to buy exotic cars, you're trying to buy real estate, you're trying to buy things that assets, because you could definitely turn an exotic car into an asset, guys. If you rent it out or whatever it may be, you need to have good credit, guys. And I always say you're not going to go somewhere you've never been before without, using a GPS, right? So if you don't know what your credit score is now or where you're beginning, how the hell are you going to know where you're going to go, man? So go ahead, guys, enroll. A link will be below at the top of the description. Jump in with Identity IQ, man. They rock with us. They help us out quite a bit. They're our sponsors. Great service here. I actually have it myself. I pay for it myself, guys, because that's how important credit is when you're trying to buy and procure assets, man.
And scammers are at an all-time high now. You may not know someone's using your credit, credit card number or your social.
Dark web. And
if you don't know, you can't prepare or stop it. So if someone has your information and they're using it, guys, you need to know. Like, even for example, before I bought my first property, someone who had my information, they were using my card and using my credit as it was theirs. So basically, they're running up my credit, history, also my accounts, and I didn't even know until I checked my service, and then they told me, "Hey, here's an alert. You've been using your card at Best Buy is maxed out." That wasn't me. So luckily, I made a phone call. They did the reverse whatever, got to take it off my credit. But if I didn't know, I went to buy a car or a house, I would have been messed up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even know what's going on. So, guys, it's very important to know what's going on.
Yeah, guys. I mean, take control of your credit, guys. Like, fraud is the fastest growing crime in the United States nowadays. I'll tell you guys that from my personal experience. People are realizing, it's more profitable to get, fake credit cards than to sell cocaine. Times have changed. Fraud is the new thing, bro, especially if you're down here in South Florida. So, guys, go ahead. Get on Identity IQ. It's only $1, man. Monitor your credit. Take control of your finances, man. You can't get where you've never been before if you don't know where you're going, and Identity IQ is going to create that path for you. So check them out. Anyway, transitioning back over. Next question.
And there's an age-old question, man. From the beginning of time, when cars were made, right? People ask the question all the time. What is better, financing or leasing? Can you tell them?
All right.
The age-old question.
Yeah.
No, it's a good question. Here is the situation. If somebody gonna drive certain amount of miles and they can take advantage of tax write-offs, depreciations, and etc., and if they can lease their vehicles under their businesses, I recommend them use leasing, which is fine. Mm-hmm. They are not going to get penalized with the wear and tear. They're going to put certain amount of miles, but they're going to use it for their business. So there's a lot of, I'm not a tax expert, but I heard that there are a lot of tax advantages for that purpose. The downside is you would not retain any kind of equity. Now, people are going to start thinking now, how is that possible? You get equity, right, on the car. That's a depreciating asset.
Yeah.
But we saw what happened, right? Last 24 months and 12 months.
Very true.
People, I can give you a sample. Somebody came into my place and then they asked me a question. They said, I want to sell my car. I have a lease return and we obtain a lease payoff on the vehicle. It was 50.
What's a lease return and a lease payoff? So the people there.
Sure. The term, he was coming to at the end of his lease term that it was due to return the vehicle.
Okay.
To the
so he had like a month left on a lease or something.
30 days,
okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we called the financial services. We obtained a payoff code for him. His payoff was $59,000. If we looked at the value of the car, it was $75,000.
Whoa.
So, well, it's almost $16,000 upside on the car.
Yeah.
So everything he paid in 2 years came back to his pocket.
Yeah.
But this is not a common.
What kind of car was it?
It was a Porsche Cayenne Turbo.
Okay.
Correct. So I was just saying, how is it possible? But this is not an ordinary situation. Most of the time, when the lease return comes, their residual values, which is a value that finance company estimates at the end of the lease term, they call the residual value, are close to the market value of the vehicle or a little bit higher sometimes. So most of the time they force individuals to turn in the vehicles. This way they will retain the inventory at their dealerships because they are at the end of the day a little bit upside down. Now things are changed on the lease customers. So they are above now. If a lot of people watching this show, they can check there. If they have a lease, they can call their lease companies, get payoffs. Their payoffs they're going to say, okay, but don't forget, they need to get a dealer payoff, not a regular payoff, dealer payoff.
Can you tell us the difference between the two, between a dealer payoff and a lease payoff?
Here's the deal. If it's a lease vehicle.
Listen up, guys.
If it's a lease vehicle, if it's a dealer payoff, if they are selling the vehicle to a dealership, they are not responsible 6% sales tax at the end of the transaction. So if it's a $30,000 car, there's another $1,800 saving. It's a big saving.
Yeah.
So they can call, make a phone call. They can find out, hey, what's my lease payoff, dealer payoff? They can give it to you. Check your value of your car. There are a lot of tools online nowadays. And excellent. They could be in a better position. Maybe they drove the car 2 years for free.
Wow. Or they even can come out with some profit.
Absolutely.
Sell it back.
100%.
Is that common now? Because for those that are wondering, man, obviously, as you guys know, we had this beer bug going on for the past 2 years, and it pretty much halted vehicle production, especially luxury cars. So luxury cars right now are very expensive. They're actually gaining value, a lot of them. So is it common nowadays in your line of business, especially dealing with exotic cars, where people leased a car maybe 2 years ago before the pandemic, and now they're selling it back and actually making money?
100%. 100%. People leaving with in their pocket $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, depends on the car.
They drove her.
They drove the car
They
for
got
free.
paid to drive the car.
100%. They made exactly everything they pay came back to their pocket, and they are happy.
So I have a friend that argues financing is better.
Okay, now because we're looking at the extra.
Was there anything else on leasing you wanted to talk about before we go into financing?
No, that is basically it. I think
that was some good stuff right there that the people can definitely. I hope y'all took some notes on that one, man. So saving on taxes
it's a good
and stuff.
Peace of mind. I think don't just make sure you define the verbiage, dealer payoff. That's very important.
Okay.
And the financing side, right? Financing side is good as long as you're going to retain the vehicle in the long term, and you're going to build some kind of equity or pay off the vehicle in a certain time, so you have some type of collateral in your hand with a value. Well, most of the time you're going to pay much more than its value. That's a fact.
Over time.
With the interest. That's a fact. But here's the scenario, right? If you have a car for $50,000 and you financed it and you draw the car and you made some extra payments and you draw the car 3 years, 36 months, and you were able to pay off that car. That $50,000 car in 3 years maybe worth $25,000. Now you can take that car and trade in for another car, which you don't have to come up with extra money from your pocket, and you can use that $25,000 towards the next purchase. Mm-hmm. So that helps a lot. But other than that, there is no benefit. Oh, one thing. Finance vehicles, they have cheaper insurance than the lease vehicles. Don't forget.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a benefit.
So I have a friend, right? He bought a Lamborghini Aventador, SVJ, for I think it was like 500 or 450K before the pandemic, right? So he's selling it now with a 200K profit, and he barely drove the car. He drove maybe like a couple months, like 3-4 months.
Correct.
Right? So isn't that better than leasing if you run numbers, 200K versus...
Here's the thing, though. If you have a $500,000 car and you went up there, you pay 7% sales tax, you pay $35,000 sales tax. Don't forget that. That's out of the thing. If you lease the vehicle, 2 years ago, they give you a residual value for a $500,000 car, let's say $250,000. Then you didn't pay sales tax. You only pay the sales tax for 6 months maybe, or 8 months, or 1 year per month. The $35,000 divided the term of the lease. So you didn't penalize with the sales tax. You're in good shape. Then you get your lease payoff. You are already in a perfect shape. So you save maybe $30,000 on sales tax, and you got money at the end. So it was a perfect situation for him as a lease. But if it was finance, he was going to come up with $35,000 extra from his pocket on a sales tax for a $500,000 car.
Okay. So you can avoid sales tax pretty much.
For the lease aspect, because you pay per month.
Okay. That's good. That's both sides right there. And then crazy story. Oh, any chats, Chris? Sorry, Trey or no? Okay. So getting back to it. So can you tell us one crazy story as far as like someone buying a car from you that you can think of, most memorable moment?
Well, I have I remember this happened like I would say about 10 years ago. A gentleman came. He said he wanted to have a car, and it's supposed to be a Christmas gift. I said, okay, we didn't have the car. He asked me to locate the car and arrange everything so it can be delivered in Christmas Eve. And we were able to find the car and all the good stuff. And it was 2 days before Christmas. And I told him, I said, car is here, it's ready. And he said, okay, I pay. I wire the money, I pay. And can you make sure it's delivered? I said, where do you want me to deliver? He said, it's going to go to Congo. I said, Congo? Africa. I said, 2 days. He said, yeah.
Coney 2012.
I was like 22.
And then he arranged a plane, and we shipped the vehicle. And then I looked at the tab. The shipping cost was higher than the vehicle's value. And I was like, okay, this was not normal.
Whoa.
Very strange.
Yeah, it was a Benz, like $68,000, and the shipping was almost $70,000.
Money laundering. Something crazy. What?
Whoa, that's a warlord car. Something, I don't know.
Something was strange, you know.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's got to definitely make so you have some like red flags. Like, what? You spent $70,000 on shipping for a car that's worth $68K? What the hell? Okay, we got Manjot Singh Tour. Good question here. What are the top 3 exotic cars with least depreciation? That hold value, I guess, the most.
Let's combine with like some Porsche vehicles because they have high end. Higher end, not like Panameras or Caymans and Boxsters. We're talking about maybe GT3s and etc. They retain their values.
Okay.
GT3, GT2 RS, those vehicles are good as a retention of a value. And on the other hand, if we compare Lamborghini versus Ferrari, probably would be Lamborghini be better as a retention of value. Then the Ferrari would be the third place, I would say.
Okay.
Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini.
Those are 3 cars as a prior.
Wait, or was it Porsche, Lambo, Ferrari?
Porsche, Lambo, Ferrari.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Cool. And what are the models you would say that hold the most value for the Lamborghini and the Ferrari? I know you gave us the Porsche ones.
The limited amount of production, like you mentioned, SVJ, we're going to probably appreciate over the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to the hyper cars, right? I'm not talking about the, La Ferraris, Apertas, and everything. I'm talking about the regular ones.
Right.
Those are like SVJ or new Hurricane SHO, the coming Evo, or those are good
For Lambo. And
Italian
what about
cars.
Ferrari? What models would you say hold the value?
The SF9 is great.
Pista?
Pista is a great car. That's a great car, but it's not really something you can drive a lot. It's not as comfortable as a regular Ferrari. SF9 is a very nice car. Came out, and probably the new the Roma is going to be a nice car too. I heard Ferrari Roma. I mean, I don't know how it's going to hold its value or not, but it's a little, we're going to see, I guess.
What do you think about the new Porsche 911s?
At the moment, due to backlog, I think it's like a 10, 12 months or whatever the time is.
Damn.
They're holding up their value. They are great cars. Design is really nice. They have some weird sections I'm not crazy about. Like a little shift knob. It's not like, I don't know, it's like a little joystick.
Damn.
I'm not crazy about it. It's like a 3 inches tall.
Shit.
I'm not crazy about that. I like the older shift. But car drives really good, very responsive. There is no turbo lag. Engine is a turbo engine, as you know,
Nice.
since 2017. But it's a great car, great warranty, 4-year, 50,000 miles. And I believe some of them includes the first year maintenance. And it's good. It's good.
Yeah, Tate talks a lot about how Porsches are reliable vehicles. When he drives cross country in Europe, he drives Porsches a lot. Shout out to Andrew Tate. He's going to be here at the end of the month, guys. So we got Apologize Thomas here. Really good question. What is it better buy, a Tesla Model 3 Performance or BMW M3 Competition? I really want to know. And is it better to finance for buying it outright? That's a good question. What's your take on that, brother?
Today I was looking at the data on the Model 3 for one of my customers. And I think they are kind of backlogged quite a bit. But I believe M3 Competition would be a better option.
Okay.
Versus the Model 3 Performance for sure.
Okay. There you go. Guys, you got a car expert here, man. Go ahead and, this is your chance. Go ahead and ask your questions, guys. We'll have a short Q&A here. And then, we'll end the show. We got here, I think, Joel J. from Canada. How much income do you need to finance $500K car? Do you see that, Trey? Joel J, right there. You just scribbled.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. Bam. How much income would you need to finance a $500K car? Joel J.
With a significant down payment, the monthly payment of the vehicle, it should not exceed your one. So we divide the 500 to 12, right? Mm-hmm. So it's about $46,000, something like that.
Wait, 500 by 12. I'll do it right now. 500,000. Divided by 12, that equates to 41,000.
And divide by 1/3.
Divided by
3.
3, yep. 13,888.
That person can afford up to $13,000 monthly payment on a car with a decent down payment.
Okay. And what are we looking at for a down payment typically for?
For that kind of $500,000 car, I would expect down payment to be somewhere around $100,000 minimum.
How much?
100,000.
100,000. Okay.
Minimum.
Wow. 25% down. 20% down. 20%. Okay. And is that with all exotic cars, pretty much?
I mean, 500. When you get to 500,000 level, you are. But they want to see some skin in the game.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, you don't want to walk in and I have a super duper credit. they still want to see something
Yeah.
over
Right.
there.
Yeah, that might work at a Honda dealership, but when you're going into an exotic car dealership,
It's a
your
little
good credit is just one part of the equation.
It is a little different, correct?
Okay. Okay, we had another one here, Trey. Let's see here.
No, we missed a little.
Yeah, we missed one.
Tony?
Scroll up top, Chris. Trey.
About-
It was like a
about-
$10 one.
about the Corvette. Yeah,
There we go.
Jolik.
This is from Jalik Udo, $10. These are really good questions, guys. Thoughts on the new Z06? Do you think it's going to make the supercar / exotic car market more competitive since the C8 base model is already doing really well?
What do you think?
Absolutely. Only thing that we have to worry about the production numbers on Z06 and if they're able to do that. Z06 is going to be a super new Z06. It's going to be a super nice car, excellent performance, and for the it's one of the best best cars for the buck, and it's gonna.
How much do one of those go for?
At the moment, I really don't know what the MSRP on those vehicles. They are just
You can't even like buy them now. You gotta like,
no,
order
you
them.
have to order them, correct. And if you qualify, if you this and that, and wait.
When they were in stock, how much were they going for?
I really don't know. To be honest, with you. I don't want to. I don't know.
They were never really on the showroom that long.
I mean, they're just coming out the whole
Yeah.
thing. It's not really. They just released the vehicle. So,
Okay.
but the C8s, like you mentioned, you can see them in the showrooms here and there. But what's going to happen? I think it may impact the C8 values
Okay.
and bring them down a little bit, because people they wish to buy the best, and the beast. It's a fast car.
But would you say it's a direct threat to like a Lambo or a Ferrari or?
You know what? It's a different type of buyer.
Yeah.
C8 buyer is a different type of buyer than the Lambo buyer. But if now we're seeing it, people they started appealing. The design is appealing much more than before, and we started seeing some kind of shift. They are like, okay, you know what? This doesn't look that bad. Yeah, I don't mind to spend $90,000 for a C8, than 150, 200,000 for a Ferrari, because the Ferrari prices are sky high also nowadays.
I ain't gonna lie. When I pull up to a spot and I see a Corvette and a Lambo, I'm sorry, bro. Lambo, the Ferrari, sorry, the Corvette might look like dope, 06, but I'm always go with the Lambo, bro. I just can't. Just knowing that, I know how car heads think. Nah, bro, I'm pulling up with the Lambo, bro, all day. Not no Corvette. Sorry.
100%, because it's a Lamborghini, right?
Yeah.
Corvette is a Corvette. We know what it is. We know how it is. Now, but let's
Two
look
different markets almost.
Let's look at the comparison, right? We're making. Okay, we're comparing something with $300,000 versus $90,000. You can basically buy almost 3 of those.
Yeah.
So we're comparing really
Apples, oranges.
apple to oranges, but on the other hand, let's take a look at this. Now we are able to compare these two, right? Because it looks nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot compare any other $90,000 car with Lamborghini. Would you compare, for example, $90,000 M5
No.
versus Lamborghini Huracan?
That's a good point.
Right?
That's a good point. That's even that comparison you can even
You know
be
what I'm
made
saying?
right now.
We are getting there. So I think this manufacturer is getting there, and it's doing better than. Let's take a look at what we used to have, right?
Yeah.
We were able to see Corvettes eaten by cows on the side of the road because they made of fiberglass. I had a picture.
What?
A cow.
Cows eat Ferraris?
No,
Corvette.
Oh, okay.
I have a picture that I saw. Somebody sent it to me many years ago. A cow was eating the Corvette because it was made of fiberglass.
Holy crap!
Wow. Move.
Yeah, that's a new one right there. Like,
So look, you got options.
Yeah.
Cheaper option is the Corvette. It still looks classy, looks dope. It's fast. Or if you want to ball out and be the big boss, you get the Lamborghini.
It's the thing is what I noticed about like guys that drive Corvettes. It's like a dream car for a lot of people. When someone goes and buys a Corvette, they've had it on their mind for the better part of a decade or two that I'm buying a Corvette. I don't care. I'm doing this. I'm saving up for it.
Yeah.
It's like I would consider it like the everyday American guy's dream car to get when they're retired or whatever. I remember when I was living in Connecticut, like every old rich white dude would have a Corvette. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the car. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Lamborghini, that's a whole other realm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once you get into that thing, like when you buy into Lamborghinis and Ferraris, what I've noticed is that you're buying to get into a certain to be a certain class and also to get into a certain type of environment too, because you get invited to certain social situations with Lamborghinis and Ferraris that you would never get with a Corvette.
It's a symbol, right? It's a kind of at the end, it's a success symbol.
Yeah,
people they like to see that in that level. I mean,
You had something?
No, I
Fresh?
was gonna say like you're right, bro.
I like Corvettes though. I do like Corvettes.
They are nice.
Just where I'm going up, I pull up with a Corvette, they can laugh at me, bro. So I got
That's true.
to pull up with a
Yeah.
certain level of like.
Yeah, you can't
know
go
what I mean?
back now. You can't
go
go
back
back.
now.
Yeah, you go
But
backwards.
If it's your first car you want to get, bro, definitely get it. Like, just get that experience. Have drive around, go to car shows, experience that experience with the Corvette. And if you want to agree later on,
I like American muscle cars, man. You know what I'm saying? I like the the Challenger, the Demon D's,
Hellcat,
and the Hellcats. Those are awesome. But yeah,
Hellcat, man.
you're not gonna. It's not gonna carry the same oomph as an exotic car. It is what it is.
Yeah.
American cars. I hate to say it, they're always gonna come second to the Italian and European cars.
Yeah.
But I buy American. Fuck that. If I had the choice. Okay, so we got who else we got here? We got these are really good questions. What about Mercedes and Toyota? Do they hold value? $2 from It's Dutch Boy.
Okay. Let's keep in mind there are 3 cars holds the most value in the car market.
Okay.
G wagons.
Yep.
Is one of the top ones.
Mercedes G-Wagon.
Mercedes
Okay.
G-Wagon. Jeep Wranglers.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's something you wouldn't.
And then for Turo, if you want to rent cars,
Jeep Wrangler is
Wrangler,
the top car to have. Yep.
Those, I mean, I would say those, and the Porsche 911s. I'm talking about specifically those specific cars.
Porsche 911, Jeep Wrangler,
G-Wagon,
Mercedes G-Wagon.
G-Wagon. Those 3 cars, they will hold the longest and the best value over the time.
Man,
Why those 3 specifically? Are they just hard to come by? Or are they?
Because if you look at this demand, and if you look at all what is so similar on those 3 cars,
They're all SUVs basically.
Okay, no, 911s are not
Jeep,
SUVs.
kinda.
Okay, now let's take a look at just
Turbo?
make a wild guess. Anything? No, right? Because look at their design. Look at their design. Hasn't changed over the years very often. If you look at 1960s, 70s, 80s G-Wagons, they still look the same. Or if you look at the 1960s Porsche, still similar, right?
Right.
And Jeep Wrangler, 1980s, 1990s and Jeep Wranglers, or even the older ones, they look the same. So as the vehicles, they hold their, appearance the same, they tend to hold their value better. But the question was the Toyota Camry, for example, or Toyota vehicle. Well, they make a change every other year.
Yeah.
They change a headlight. They change a taillight. They change this. You see a big changes all the time. And the manufacturer makes big changes. The older ones, they depreciate faster.
Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. That's I just learned something right there. $5 from Electric Relaxation. Do you ever get orders for a Ford GT?
Ooh.
Yes, we had orders, and then I have sold some Ford GTs. And I recently even have a Ford GT brand new, a white one with a racing version. And we can sell that vehicle. And it's possible to get them, and they are wonderful.
Cool.
Yo, guys, do me a quick favor, guys. Please. Like the video, guys, because y'all are getting some... these are really excellent questions, man. I'm learning right now from your guys' questions. I'm learning being on this goddamn podcast right now. So, guys, do me a quick favor. Like the video. We got, 1,200, 1,400 you guys watching right now? Please like the video. It helps us a lot with the algorithm, guys. Understand that right now on YouTube, everyone's views are down. I don't know what it is. But, yeah, man, if you guys like the video, it helps us get pushed in the algorithm. So this type of content can get out there, guys, because we help you guys with making money, getting girls, cars, fucking credit scores,
everything,
getting in shape, everything, guys. We release everything, types of content for male self-improvement here. And, we're a diversified platform, so please like the video. Help us get pushed. Genzai Iragori, I probably butchered that. What are your thoughts on making the car make money for you, such as renting it out for music videos, commercials, anything else you can think of?
Ooh.
Well, let's look at the latest changes and other things on Turo, right? We saw
Turo is exploding right now.
Turo is exploding, but at the same time, the profit margins are so small. We have seen very expensive vehicles are being rented almost nothing. I don't really recommend that. The second thing is the rental industry is a totally different beast. It's not for everybody. It is not easy. It is very complicated. Depreciation, insurances, liabilities, all those, that's going to be a difficult situation. I don't recommend a regular person to, jump into the rental car business immediately.
Okay.
It's complicated.
You got to know what you're doing.
You got to know what you're doing. It's not an easy business.
Okay. And get cars that I guess people would want to rent. I know we brought one guy on that runs a very successful Turo business. Shout out to our guy, Bruce. He was saying his Jeep Wranglers rented out till next year,
Yep.
So
They have special cars. You need to know what you're doing. This is not
Okay.
something. It's not a business for entry level person gonna
gotcha.
put their monies and credits and other things and
Yeah.
put it on the street.
Because you need an immediate return, right? Because you're
Absolutely.
basically you're getting cars on credit, and you need to make those payments
Absolutely.
on them, and then on top of that, after you pay, now you're hoping for a profit. So you gotta know what you're doing.
We have to calculate everything, right? If you're buying a car for $600 per month, monthly payment, it's costing you what, $20 a day, right? Then your insurance, whatever the insurance, add on it. Then your depreciation, add on it.
Issues.
Add on it, and try to buy with something with a warranty. Okay, maybe you get rid of but still it's costing you money every day. So if this is not, bringing money, it's not even cutting even, it's not even worth to do it. Old Chinese saying, right? Doing business for a loss is a sin.
There you go.
There you go, man. So no, that's a great one. So yeah, I guess in other words, just know what you're doing, brother. Okay, so what else do we got here for super chats? You guys are asking some really good questions, guys. Please like the video, guys. Get us to 1,000 likes right now. I see that we're at like 960 right now, guys. There's 1,300 you guys watching right now on YouTube. Get us to at least 1,000, man. That'd be a great help. We got Libni Villa Lobos, $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. Lucy W from Great Britain. Thoughts on classic cars used as rental for business, such as two-row/event hire, such as Mercedes SL 1970 minus 180K classic cars popular here in the UK.
I am not really sure that can be used here in the US because of the safety features.
Yeah.
1970 vehicles and everything, Tour are not going to accept those
Yeah.
vehicles because
It's too old.
doesn't have the airbags, side airbags, recall records. That's not going to work out.
Yes.
Tourer checks every vehicle,
Yeah.
make sure it doesn't have any recalls, doesn't have any airbag issues. It's not going to work here, unfortunately. It may
Okay.
work in the UK. We don't know
Might
that.
work in the UK. Okay, but here in the US,
not
based
gonna
on
work.
safety regulations, it wouldn't.
It's too
And
old.
knowing the UK, if it's not going to fly here, it probably won't fly over there either. We got Nolan Baptiste, $10. Question to the guest. How would you advise a first-time car buyer finance a Dodge Charger Hellcat Red Eye in Canada?
Canada.
They are not that far from us. I mean,
Yeah, they're very similar.
they are similar. They're similar financial institutions and etc. The only question is going to be, how is the previous history with the credit? If they have a satisfactory credit or if they have comparable credit that they purchased anything in the past. Hellcats and the Red Eyes, they are limited vehicles. They are not like a mass production Dodge Chargers or Challengers. So they are a little bit more in a side that they hold their value a little bit better than the other ones. So I recommend that to finance it. If you don't have enough finance, maybe you can check what they call checking your family tree. You can ask your brother, sister, mom, and dad to co-sign you.
Okay.
It happens, it helps, and help you to get that car.
Yeah, and make sure you get your credit monitored, man, so that you can build it up and make sure, because a car like that is not easy to come by.
Correct.
How much? What's the price on American for a Hellcat Red Eye? It ain't cheap.
No, they are not cheap.
Like 100?
They are not 100, but I think they are like
80?
80s, around 80s.
80,000.
Yeah.
Correct,
So-
but if you add the taxes and other things, you're gonna go all the way
90.
up there. Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Nobunaga, $20. Thank you so much. So I was debating on getting a 1990 Ferrari Testerossa. I heard that the car doesn't really drop below a certain price point. Is this true? And what's your opinion on that kind of car? Man, these are great questions, guys.
Yes, the Ferrari Testerossa. The Testerossa line is a great car, and it goes all the way to 512 TRB, which is with the two side mirrors and single mirror on the left side. The other ones, they are great cars. My highly recommendation is use the car in the second gear. Because they have a historical second gear failure in Testerossas. So basically what you do, you put the car in the second gear and drive downhill. And if it holds the car in the second gear, after you release the gas, it's a good Ferrari Testerossa. Most of them, it doesn't hold and it will throw the shift out of the second gear. So that's the one thing for Testerossa. It's a great car. They definitely hold their value. Colors are red, white, and black, those three colors. And that's very important.
Y'all get some game right now, man. I like that. I told you what colors to invest in. What's the minimum that they're gonna? He's saying they hold at a certain price point. What do they not typically dip below?
The lowest parts that I have seen in the not the particular year, but the lowest ones we were able to see in 2-3 years ago, like a 90,000 even. Now they are going higher, 150s, 130s, 140s, 150s, and going up and up.
Oh, wow.
I highly recommend someone, if somebody into a Testarossa, and it's a great car to drive. Miami Vice guys, come on, white one, remember that. So, so it's a great car to have on as well.
Okay. Libni Villa Lobos. Dan, messed up my super chat, but meant to say, been a Ninja Watcher for a minute, but want to support Money Mondays. I know it's the least watched, but hope it never goes away. Fab and Fit for life. We love y'all, guys. Don't worry, we're going to always have Money Mondays, guys. Yep. We're not going to stop doing them because how the hell are we going to look just telling you, oh, no, just go out there and womanize? Like, no, bro. Like, we're not just a dating channel.
We also learn as well, man, because, look, we don't know everything.
I'm learning right now.
We're bringing experts to handle things as well. So there you go.
Man. So, man, we're going to give you guys everything, man. This is going to be your one-stop shop as a guy to come and self-improve. Apologize, Thomas, $10. Do you think it's worth it to buy an electric car, especially performance electric car like the Porsche Taycan? Is it worth it to buy one?
Okay, Porsche Taycan compared to other electric vehicles is a superior vehicle due to the quality of product and the interior and the other elements. If you compare how they built Taycan versus Tesla, it's day and night. It's a great car. I don't recommend buying a brand new one. There's a depreciation curve on the Taycan a lot. Taycan was not really got impacted by the shortage. So you are able to obtain a Taycan fairly easily compared to 911. For that reason, do not overpay for the car. It's not, don't never pay over MSRP. And if you're going to buy one, ask for a discount. Taycan should be entitled to get a discount from the manufacturer. But don't pay over MSRP on Taycan. But it's a great car to own as an electric car. If you ask me Taycan versus Tesla, I take Taycan all day long.
Okay. Guys, and there's almost 1,400 you guys right now, and there's 1,000 likes. Guys, do me a huge solid. Get us to almost 100% engagement. And can you guys get us to 1,300 likes, man? That's all I'm asking for. You guys are asking fire questions. This is a great podcast. No one else brings, expert guests like this when it comes to exotic cars, where you guys can ask them real-time questions on here and help you guys get girls, get in shape, help you improve with everything, guys. So please, just like the video.
Guys, put a 1 in the chat if you'd like to see maybe in the future a car finder service where Billy can help you find your dream car for you. He'll do the financing, the setup, what color you want, where to find it, all that stuff. So put a 1 in the chat if you want to see that eventually.
There you go. That's something that we're working on the side for you guys.
Just thought about it. Yeah.
Jonathan Hogu, $10. With a 25-year rule making it so that R32 and R33 Skylines can be sold illegally in the States, have you sold any of these imports? And if so, what would be different from buying a USDM exotic car?
Well, to be honest with you, I never had an opportunity to sell R32, R33, and they are wonderful cars. I have driven and the right-hand drive ones, and I experienced it. Matter of fact, I'm driving a Nissan GTR today here, R35.
Jeez.
So I like it. I'm a fan of the vehicle, and from the beginning. And unfortunately, but I really don't want to misinform you or give you wrong information, because it is a very unknown, unclear area what is going to happen at the end of the day.
Right.
We're going to kind of watch and see what's going to happen in the market when they are here in the States.
And we got an overwhelming amount of 1s in the chat. So y'all really want to have this car finder service. So Billy, they want it, man.
I think it's a good idea altogether. I mean, we'll be happy to assist you. You guys have a great product here, and we'll be happy to help you.
Cool. We got electric relaxation. I heard the Ford GT beating out Lamborghini Aventador when it comes to holding value. Is that true?
100%. The amount of collectability is there, and the Aventador they are much more mass produced than Ford GT. And let's keep in mind, Ford GT has a heritage, history, and a racing history, and won a lot of races. And it's better to have a Ford GT in your garage versus Aventador for sure.
Bam! Wow. That's big facts.
Okay. Wow. Didn't know that.
Not too many of those.
I would have thought the other way, the Lamborghini just off the name. But hey, this is why learning, guys. This is a great episode for me too. Big Shot Ammo, $5. Nice Cartier watch, sir. I wanted to ask: are you able to get a Rimac and Rezvani tank? What would the options to finance it? I think he means what would be the options to finance.
Yeah.
That's what he
Tank?
means.
Yeah, it's a Rezvani tank. They call it Rezvani tank. It's a SUV. It's a bulletproof looking thing. It's a great vehicle. And
That's what
yes,
Bulletproof.
Some
Hey,
of
bro,
them-
who you hiding from, bro?
For real.
Watch the goddamn video. We give y'all information on like and get bulletproof cars too, bro. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. I mean, it's a very unique vehicle. It's doable. We can finance the vehicle up to 144 months, and we'll be happy to help you if you decide to buy one. And we can
You have access to those too?
Absolutely. We have the contact with the manufacturer, and we have no problem.
Listen,
Wow.
any car you want, he can source for you. Actually, you're getting my next car.
Yes.
And hopefully, this
You
week-
are getting.
wanna talk about that or no? It's up to you, Fresh.
Let's surprise people. Let's
Yeah.
wait.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
wait a little bit.
Okay.
I know he's excited himself, but
Okay, and then we got Jansel Irigori, $5. Thoughts on a Nissan Skyline GTR? It is said to be very reliable supercar.
100%. GTR is one of the most reliable supercars on the street, most responsive, and the most kind of fun to drive. So I believe for the buck, Nissan GTR, you can't go wrong with it.
JDM all the way.
Okay,
All right.
and then I think Hogu had to correct this question real fast. I saw it come in. We scroll up, and guys, thank you for all the support. And while we wait to pull up the super chat, because I want to make sure we get all your questions answered, guys, please like video. There's 1,400 plus of you guys in here. Yo, get us to 100% engagement, guys. If you guys could do that, I love you guys forever, especially on these Money Monday episodes, man. They don't get pushed as much because people don't like to learn how to make money and or, get luxury cars or whatever it is.
But we'll keep doing them.
But we'll keep doing them anyway. Yeah, but I guarantee we got a bunch when we got the girls here. Jonathan Hogle meant to say legally, not illegally.
Yeah.
As far as like getting those skylines is what he meant.
That doesn't really change the answer because, I mean,
Yeah,
either
I
way,
think the answer is you've never been able to
Yeah.
get a hold of them,
No,
right?
because we never had an opportunity to have those vehicles in our hands legally with the U.S. titles and etc.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna see these things are coming in, and we're gonna see how the market is gonna react.
Okay. I think he said R33, R32.
R32 and 33
Skylines.
Skylines, correct.
We had them in Barbados, but they're banned in the U.S. Yeah, so.
Okay. We got Joel J. $7 Canadian. Not sure if I heard you correctly, but the monthly payment on a finance shouldn't exceed 1/3 of my monthly income.
That is correct for the particular $500,000 sample we have given on that particular
okay.
sample, because the car payment on that going to be very, very heavy.
Yeah,
So-
that was for a vehicle, guys, at $500,000. What about if it's like less? Let's say $100,000.
It will be much less than 1/3.
Okay.
So you can go probably 1/6 range.
One sixth of your
around-
monthly income.
Correct.
Okay,
That's
but
much
for-
more. That's much more realistic because now we're looking for a $500,000 car. It's going to be. Keep in mind, I mean, if you have 1/3 there, plus you have a mortgage, we have other expenses. They don't want you to consume 50% of your monthly
Yeah.
income on a car.
On a car.
They want you to be able to pay other things as well.
Okay.
We got Nolan Baptiste here, 5 Canadian, says, question for the guests. Do you think people should buy a car on the internet or at a dealership?
Mm.
Well,
You do both, so
I mean, to be honest with you, that is correct. Yes, it's a physically or internet. That is done both ways. Now, here is the deal, right? If it is a remote purchase, as we mentioned earlier, I highly recommend doing an inspection. That is a fact.
spend extra money, regardless of warranties. Do it anyway.
Do it. Doesn't matter if I can. Somebody calls me, asks me about the car. I will say, hey, bring the third party, have them look at the car because I'm a human being. I could be missed something. Have them take a look at it because the worst thing is you're selling a vehicle to someone, goes to their house, and they notice something is wrong, and that is really bad feeling for the seller and also for the buyer.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, things can be justified, but why would you justify if you can avoid all this with spending $200-300 on an inspection?
Right.
Okay.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Anything else?
That's pretty much
Shout out to you,
it.
Triggers, man. Yeah, it's a very informative show, guys. I'm learning here myself,
lot.
bro. Holy crap. Guys, there was a lot of gems dropped on this. The timestamps are going to be below. Guys, also, remember what he said as far as like getting an exotic car, man. Good credit, okay? You need to have, comparable credit as far as like, having other types of loans that are similar to what you're trying to do.
Yep.
And, yeah, man, you got to put a down payment, guys. So, guys, get on Identity IQ. Link is going to be below, man. Make sure you rock with them so that you can make sure you can track your credit. So that if you do want to get a nice car in the future, whether it's an exotic car, American muscle, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Or especially if you're down here in South Florida, hit up Billy. Guys,
And show his
you
page.
got to take care of your credit.
One more time, Trey, his page.
Yeah, we'll
'cause
show you
guys,
guys Instagram.
You mainly start with a lower car, like a Porsche, and then work your way up to like a Lambo, then Ferrari.
Guys, that's why we bought the Range Rover first.
Yeah.
because you know,
Stepping
you got to work your way up before you get like these, you know, these supercars.
So go follow Gables Sports Cars. Just cut on a little bit, Trey, so you can see cars here. A bunch of options that you guys could choose from. Very good options here, and
yeah, man. And tell them FreshandFit sent you when you go over there. And this is in Coral Gables, right?
That is correct.
Is your dealership? So yeah, man, check it out, man. You guys want to get any of these cars or anything like that, and you're down here in South Florida, definitely hit up our boy Billy. We're gonna put his contact information below. But guys, empower yourself, man. Get an identity IQ.
There's a McLaren to the
and
right.
make sure you check out your credit, man, so that you can get one of these bad
Sold.
boys.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, guys.
All right. So cool. Anything else, Fresh?
That's
before?
it.
Yeah. Identity IQ, guys. All right. Get on Identity IQ. And then also check us out. We're going to have a nighttime show with girls here in about an hour.
And Rhino, special guest.
Yes, we're going to have Rhino from Love, Live, Serve tonight, guys.
Yep.
And also, guys, quick question, because I know y'all asked about DMs on Demand. DMs on Demand is coming out next Tuesday, guys. This week, we're rewiring the studio. Me and Trey got a lot of work with the studio, fixing it up. Also, we revamped the Patreon. So we want to make sure that you guys get the most, because we're going to have our Zoom calls immediately after the launch.
So getting on the
email list, guys.
Yeah.
If you get on the email list, you're going to get a special $100 off on DMs on Demand. And also on DMs on Demand, Fresh goes over in detail of how to get an exotic car, whether it's to rent or to get with a lot of the secret sauce. I know we touched on some of it here, but you're going to get the real secret sauce on DMs on Demand that we can't put on here. But yeah, guys, get on the email list, put your name, email, and it's going to save $100. So you guys have an extra week to save up and be ready for next Tuesday, November. That is 8th? No, 9th.
No, 9th. Actually,
November 9th, guys, is going to be the launch, because we got some guests in town. We got the new Patreon, and then me and Trey got to rewire the studio. But we got y'all one more week.
Stay tuned for our next exotic car purchase through Billy. It's going to be lit.
Yes. Stay tuned on Fresh's Instagram, guys, Fresh Prince CEO, to see it. Guys, before you leave the video, please like the video. Get us 100% engagement, because I see that there's about 1,400 of you guys in here on YouTube right now. It's really going to help us with the algo. And guys, if you enjoyed the show, you know, give us some fire emojis in the chat, man, because I learned a lot myself just now. That was fucking fantastic. Thank you, guys. We'll catch you guys, in about an hour?
Yeah, about an hour.
Cool. Peace.
Peace.